Hi people, and this is my third attempt at doing this video about this expressed medical non-consent declaration, and just to talk you through it. Now we have these cards, hard copies of them, and you can get them off Police Scotland Angels. I'll put the link to the wee talk I gave outside Butte House about them, and we'll just go through the cards. They're like postcard size. So basically you've got NHS Scotland up here and you've got the judiciary sign up here, and this is only for people who is residing within the jurisdiction of Scotland. So this is the card and this is what we'll go through. Express medical non-consent declaration. I, Jack Jones, and you would put in full name in capitals, residing within the jurisdiction of Scotland, expressly do not consent to the participation on any level, mentally or physically, and that's important, mentally. You don't want to talk about it, you don't want to hear about it, you don't want to be involved in any engagement in this COVID-19 vaccination and booster program. Should any acting authority medically or legally coerce me into the participation compliance of the scheme, I have lodged a copy of this declaration with an authorised party who will undertake and oversee my rights of legal recourse. So basically you get two of these cards. You lodge one with a friend or have one in your house signed and tell them where this card is, and I'll expand a wee bit later on in the video about that area. I am exercising my fundamental legal rights as expressed in the Patients' Charter, and it's the Patients' Rights Scotland Act 2011, the Article 8 of the 1998 Human Rights Act, and citing the Supreme Court ruling Montgomery v Lanarkshire Health Board and the Rights of the Reasonable Patient 2015, and there's the citation of that case, which is a very important case, by the way. It went all the way to the Supreme Court and the final judgment was dispatched in 2017, so it's a 4-year-old case, that's all. So you would sign that on the first page and date it. Okay, so this is going over leaf and telling us the explanatory notes, for them that do not understand why they're putting things into people's bodies, and it's quite simplified language to make them understand about your expressed and implied legal rights, So legal protection and rights in Scots law, explanatory notes. 1. The Patients' Rights Scotland Act 2011, and remember this is our domestic laws. The Patients' Charter rights of the individual. A. You have the right to be involved in decisions about your own care and treatment. NHS staff should not make decisions about your care and treatment without involving you in that decision. You can ask for a second opinion. I would be asking for a fifth opinion about these vaccinations before you make a decision about your care and treatment, if you think you need it. Where possible, your request will be met. B. You have the right to accept or refuse. In the wording there, you have the rights, your rights, to accept or refuse any treatment, examination, test or screening procedure that is offered to you. Remember, we are offering you. You decline, you're declining. It's all in the wording. We all get offered to go to parties when they're not shutting us down, etc. We didn't undertake all of these invitations. It's all about inviting and offering. It's all in the wording, if you can understand the information you are given and are capable of making a decision, which most of us are, for yourself about the care or treatment you are offered, then you have the right to accept or refuse any treatment. The right, said it again, to accept or refuse any treatment, examination, test or screening procedure, or to take part in research, because that's what you're taking part in. You're taking part in a eugenics research program with these JAGs, you know. This bit's important because if they come to your door, which you see what they've done in Australia, you know, they've carted them away. And remember, I've done freedom of information and things with Police Scotland, and at this point they say, no, we're not involved, and it's nothing to do with us, and we've not got any databases about who's not been vaccinated and the unvaccinated, etc. That's just now. So if they do decide to come to your door, Article 8 of the 1990 Human Rights Act, everyone has the right to respect for his private and family life, his home and his correspondence. So I'll only be engaging with them. I'll be putting that card through my letterbox and saying, go away, that's my legal position. Go away. That's my rights under domestic laws, you know. And the case law, Montgomery versus Lanarkshire Health Board, which is a great Scottish case, and the rights of the responsible patient, reasonable patient, 2015, and this is when this case started, but its citation was finished at the Supreme Court and imparted in 2017, so the appeal process took 2 years, and I'll expand a wee bit later on in that. And there's a citation, 19 Edinburgh Law Review 360, that the law protects a person's freedom to decide what shall and shall not be done with their body, and that decisions about medical care are not simple yes/no answers. There are choices to be made, and sufficient information must be given. Can they give you information about what's in these vaccines, what will happen to you if you have a medical reaction to them? Will they financially take care of you? Do they have enough information? Blah, blah. And no, the answer to that is all no. So there's your get out clauses, all there in that law and that card. Sufficient information must be given so that this can be done. Now, I've had people coming to me about Nuremberg's codes and EU laws and everything like that. Look, these things are important, but if you're starting in the very jurisdiction where you stay, which is Scotland, you know, you're going to cite your local domestic laws. You're not going to be citing, you can put them over in submissions to a court, but you're not going to be citing these big Nuremberg codes and blah, 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 because at every point in a process, a legal process, there's an appeal process. So as I go back to this case here started in 2015, and the final decision for the Supreme Court took a further 2 years. I was involved in a case once that was involved with it for 9 years. So let's hope in time, you know, that the greater policies come out, greater parliamentary statuses and parties are in place when you're appealing things and put in place, and also that you have, the right to appeal anything. So start at the bottom and work your way up through a judicial process. And then it's a lot better, because the thing is, granted, they could go for an interim order that they want you to, but that's appealable as well, you know. So let's just get these cards, hold on to them, and get about with our business, because you just see what she's done over the last few days in the Freight Holyrood, and just as I says, this was all meant to be done and dusted in 3 weeks, and that we're now 2 years down the line. Obviously, these Kleenex, these more issues and tissues aren't working. People are sneezing, taking these tests, and they're not fit for purpose, and everything's shut down again. This is horrendous, people, by the way. Really horrendous. And I just didn't want to chat about it anymore. I just want to get my rights in place and the rights for other people. So I will speak to you soon. And that's us done here, okay?